Okay. Let me just take attendance. Okay. Well, welcome everyone to WA's first lesson for the clan that I'll be hosting. I'm going to try and do these weekly on Sundays, and we'll see how it goes. So I have some material
Their
prepared.
top 4 placements, they will be going into champs.
Key things I want to address, and we'll also allow for questions at the end. If you need clarification, just hit me up in the meet hall. I'll be watching that. We'll also allow for, or if you have questions, just say, "Hey, question," that kind of thing, and we'll try to address things where relevant. If I don't get to your question, feel free to say, "Hey, you have a question again in meet hall." But if I say we're skipping it or something, we'll come back to it. Or if it's out of scope, I'll try to let you know. This first lesson is very general, very brief. I mean, it's ultimately for like new members who are just trying to get into the clan, trying to understand clan dynamics and basic structure and rules and that. So if you've been here for a while, I'm sorry if this is kind of basic stuff, but you got to start somewhere, right? Okay. So for the first lesson, this is a level 1 lesson. It's just an introduction. So, hi guys, I'm Kusiag Leitling. I was recruited in 2008 by Eowyn, and I was on StarCraft when I was recruited. I played a couple years, took a couple years off, and have come back in the last, what, 3 years or so. I got more active again. So I've been around on and off, and so WA. Let me see here. Pull up my handy dandy pocket rule book. WA is a gaming clan. It's also where friends hang out. It's where you make new friends, and it's where you can have a lot of fun. At the same time, WA is a place where we have some basic rules to respect one another, also to organize yourself, as well as a rich Norse/Viking tradition. This has gone back since the clan was founded in 2011. I'm sorry, 2001 by Lord Dane the Proud, who is still floating around here somewhere. On StarCraft Brood War, that's an RTS type game for anyone who hasn't played it. And things have changed over the years, but we're going to address, what the clan is now, what the clan means to us today, and for future lessons, we can get back to, the history. So just hang in there, guys. If you have questions on what it was back in the day, we'll get to that later. So WA has always been about making friends, playing games, having fun challenges. We have a tradition of people making art and music and that kind of thing. So it's not just gaming. We're kind of into everything. And I don't know. I almost don't want to open the floor up to everyone, but I'm half tempted to, just to get everyone's reaction. Especially the newer members. Because if people haven't been here for a long time like I have, what are some of your reactions to how we how we approach new members? I mean, what have you guys seen that you liked or didn't like? And like I said, guys, this first level is very, very basic. So I mean, these aren't trick questions. No one's gonna get demoted here. Yeah, you can unmute. Let's unmute and let's talk about this because this isn't even like real deep stuff. This is basically what are you in the grand scheme of things, and how do you like clan so far?
Put me on the
Anyone, just raise a hand or go.
the clan was quite nice when joining up. Everyone was quite nice. I remember my first call vividly. It was a okay call to say to this, but everything's been super fun. And uh I feel like this is way more than just a gaming community. Everyone's just supportive of each other in every field of life. Art, music, anything. You can talk about basically anything you want with one of the people here. Everyone understands each other and can relate. Someone you can have someone in here relate to something else of yours, no matter how personal it is. I'm pretty sure. Uh, Other than that, this is a great band. I feel like, and just as a newer member and as a little bit of an old, as a little bit of a higher rank member, I would just say try to have the most fun you can. That's the best way you experience the clan. And that rhymed. Yay.
Well, that was a great sales pitch. Thanks, Scott. Um, yeah, definitely. I've seen, and made a lot of friends. Ricky, Vest, Wolf, so light, some new people too. Just um, has anyone seen other clans? Like, how do you think WA compares to maybe some other clans you've joined for other games or other discords in general? Any thoughts on that, guys?
On other clans?
Yeah, how does this compare? I mean, do you think we're doing something right, something wrong? I mean, you're allowed to criticize, Best isn't going to come in here and demote you, so.
As someone from back in 2010, I can pop in. We used to do an encyclopedia of other clans where we would document their structure, their membership, their organization, their size, and like how they run things and like how that affected. And so like you'd see like tight knit groups that were generally like revolving around one or two people, and then you'd see like larger groups that more like ours where they have like a hierarchical structure and they sort of like yeah, I think that we're in a unique position because we've never had a lot. How do I say it? We've never focused on expansion the way that some of them do, like aggressively expanding. And I mean that's the one thing that I've always like held in comparison when I think back on all the other ones that I've looked at is that we've got a very natural growth over the years.
Yeah, and sometimes that's to the benefit or detriment of the clan. I mean, we've kind of ebbed and
yeah, absolutely
ebbed and flowed a bit. And that's just, I mean, getting back to the natural part, like you're just kind of riding the wave there. As cliche as that sounds, like you just whoever shows up or whoever you can grab to recruit, you do it. And sometimes there's big recruiting efforts and sometimes there's not. So it just depends.
Yeah.
But in terms of recruiting, how do you think? What did you think of our approach? So if you think back of whoever recruited you, what was that first interaction like? Would you say?
It was kind of interesting for me, like, cause I didn't get recruited like in a game. Like it was the general channels they had on StarCraft 2, like how they had multiple like global chats.
Yeah.
It was Frost recruiting in those, and I remember I was completely in awe because he was a pretty high tier player. But like it didn't matter to him because he was looking for people to join the community. So I was sitting in there like getting my butt kicked in games because I was playing with him, but like he taught me the game, walked me through it, and I mean that was such a good impression to me for a community.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, anytime you can have that kind of personal just connection, whether it's teaching a game or just chatting about life, I mean, that definitely I feel is a strong suit of WA. Just on my own personal note, I mean, I know I've talked to many of people in various positions. You know, when I've been LT of Thor's Hammer back in the day, when we had platoon structure, like I remember sitting down and talking to all kinds of people about all kinds of problems, and you just sit there and listen to them, and I mean that's sometimes all it takes is someone to sit down and listen. So I definitely think that's something we do right. So just for the future, guys, try to keep that in mind whenever you're recruiting or just interacting with people. Keep it civil, keep it polite. If someone needs help, try to pick them up. I know we're all a bunch of trolls, but sometimes you just need to listen to somebody. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Anyone else before we continue? Input. I saw we have someone just joined, so welcome.
All right. Well, that's for me. The reason why I joined this clan is like I never joined any other clans than this one. So I've always been like a lone wolf player, going through games, avoiding joining groups. So I thought I'd turn over a new leaf and join clan. And so far, I think this clan has some great potential, and I would like to be a part of that potential and be glad to carry its banner towards any other games I join in. So that's about my reason for wishing to join this clan.
Cool. Yes.
My my I literally was just like approached by Bjorn. Like we were just playing a StarCraft game, and like he just like asked people if we want to join like a voice chat. And I don't know, he just started talking to me, and I don't know, I just like grew like an interest, I guess. Even though I played like StarCraft like a lot before, like, no one's ever approached me, and I don't know. I thought it was really cool that he just like opened his arms, open to like anyone joining, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes that first step is just approaching someone. That's sometimes the hardest step, just starting the communication with someone and just going from there, seeing what they're interested in. I know at times we've, just a historical note, sometimes we've done these quote unquote mass recruiting efforts, and we'll see a flood of new recruits, and sometimes people just don't talk to them. They could be recruited on from a link in a forum, or just in a game, hey, everyone join, but they end up not typically staying around. It's the members that you form the connections with. I feel that they tend to stay and recruit themselves, and they're better behaved, and they're in it for the right reasons, opposed to just, hey, there's some people here I can game with. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's why we're all here, but there's more to it than that. We're looking for more, people with more. So okay, cool. I heard some good things there about introductions to the clan, and people who reached out to you. That's good. That's what we like to hear, and that's what we want to continue going forward. So it seems like most people had a good, positive experience. I'm just curious now. Has anyone had a shaky or a negative experience early on, like with initial recruiting, or just upon joining, that kind of thing?
I think the people that have a bad experience, like it often pushes them away. I think it'd be hard to find somebody that stuck around despite a bad experience.
I mean, 2 months in, I almost got eggs out, so there's that. But that's me, so
Yeah.
that's a story for later.
I don't know how common that is.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was just thinking, what classifies as like your within the first year?
I mean, first couple months you're still new, I'd say. You know, whenever you move probably from like the base rank is probably a good way to judge, because then the clan sees you as more than just, hey, you showed up. You've done something. You've interacted. You've played. You're not a troll. That's a good gauge, I'd say.
I think. I don't know, it's weird for me because I feel like the first few months I was in WA, I was super tryhard because at the time I was in cadet, so like the rank structure made sense to me.
Hmm.
So I was trying super hard to grind for that rank. So I was like recruiting, doing events and shit. Like I was
Yeah.
like, hey, everyone join this free for all. Because at the time that was what I was looking for, was people to just join like customs and stuff.
Well, it's funny you say grind rank, because in this next part here in the first lesson we're going to talk about how how does WA expect you to behave, as well as what are some things you can do to rank up. They kind of go hand in hand with your duties and expectations. You get more rank, generally speaking. The rank isn't an end all be all, guys. That's what I want to impart upon you. It's you will fit in somewhere. You know, if you do more, you do less, we'll find a spot for you. It isn't something that like you have to be, you know, berserker, right? I mean, I'm just a Thane. I'm not a Jarl, but I'm putting on classes. I'm talking to you guys, right? I don't lead people in the traditional sense like a Huskarl or a Jarl or a High King, but I can still have an impact, right? So don't just think it's about the rank. It's how active you are. It's how much you're recruiting, what lore you know. And if you haven't done some of these things, find someone who has, and talk about it, and you'll probably get interested. I mean, there's so much reading out there. I mean, I have stories for days. I'm holding myself back here, so like talk to someone, reach out, whatever. So I'm just gonna go through some things in the pocket guidebook that I think are that everyone should know. This pocket guidebook everyone should read. We'll just skim through it, but sort of your unofficial homework is to just read the pocket guide when you're done here, because it's a little tough to talk and read at the same time. But I'll skim through it. So if you go up to in Discord,
Building off of what Khan just said,
it's under rules. Yeah, what's up?
when he said because this is like going to be my second one. Like I super try hard. Like I almost like literally quit like the first few days because I don't I saw like numerous posts on, and I just felt like it was like such a hostile thing. I don't know. It just felt really uncomfortable for me. I thought this was like a clan, some kind of like family. And like I don't know, the first impression I got on the clan itself, not by like not from the individual. I just like, oof. I don't know if that was what I wanted to get myself involved.
Oh, come back. Welcome.
Yeah, and that was like my kind of like my first impression. It just gave me this like uncomfortable feeling of being here. I don't know, that's just my take on it, I guess. Like certain events though. Like
Yeah.
so I thought it was like really important that like I guess like the Niflheim was created for like stuff like that.
Yeah, we try to avoid the drama if we can. Certain people are more prone to it, obviously, and we have to try to work with them. In Numenor's case, he was very discussion and debate oriented, so you know that would come off as maybe aggressive to some people. I certainly see how that could. So yeah, I would use him as the exception rather than the rule. Um, it's unfortunate that was like the first thing you saw, but it's funny you say that, because we've implemented, you know, uh, the Bifrost, which is under, which is like the top channel here. So it's like a reception place for new members, so you don't have to see that right away. And that has like the Discord join link. Same thing with the mead hall. Like it's a you know, a non what do we call it? Like it is a safe for work channel. So then there shouldn't be crazy discussions or edgy pictures or you know, trolley stuff going on. So we feel more welcoming because we are, and it's just we still need to be able to discuss and debate other things in other areas. Like that is, you know, we encompass everything. We're not just one or the other. And so like right now, I know specifically we're trying to find a good balance of hey, welcome to WA. We're all not just a bunch of meme lords, but at the same time, hey, you want to go meming? We got that too. But here's another area for you to like not just put people off, you know, at first glance in the meat hall. So okay. So yeah, let's direct your attention to the pocket guide in the rules channel under WAS Seeker. Just crack open the pocket guide PDF. Just want to skim a couple things, and then if there aren't any direct questions with this, I'll try to wrap up this first section, and then we can either keep going or we can leave it there, and then you can all just read the pocket guide on your own. I'll take a vote. I'll take a vote later, so we'll see. So yeah, crack it open.
How much time you have?
And I'll give everyone a second to find that. You should download it. You should put it on your desktop. You know, you should always have this. This is a great quick reference guide for everything WA. Gives you links of things, you know, list of ranks, warband name. It's just really good because, you know, we all can't just remember everything. I mean, I know I'm good, but I have a crap memory. So this is great because I can just leave it up, look at it, put it away. Okay, everyone have it? Okay. Well, if you don't, let me know and we'll hook you up. So this gives you the basic core rules, you know, don't BM people, don't insult them, don't create conflict or drama, you know, like I said earlier, the Meat Hall and the Bifrost are PG channels, so for those who haven't checked out our website, it's linked there, wazier.net. That's our forums as well. We do actually use them from time to time, so feel free to sign up for sure and go there and start reading. A lot of our history, a lot of our traditions were chronicled there, so in later lessons I'll be sending you links to stories and other cool stuff. So definitely you want to take care of that. We also have a Norse naming guide, so eventually when you guys start recruiting, you can throw that to a new recruit and say, you know, here you go, pick 2 names, and you know, you can join as a new person basically, and they can pick out whatever they want. So that's pretty cool. Real basic. WA is organized into 2 great companies. We have the Companions of the Gear, led by Solius, aka Solite. Listling, the Hand of the Zir. There are 3 war bands under that great company. Allner's Chosen, led by Skullrus, Kevasir's Composers, led by Ulfold, and Belga's Breakers, I'm probably butchering these names, led by Not Listening. And that's all under the one great company, led by Solis. The other great company, Guardians of Ran, led by Fuldmather Hrodling. So the great companies are led by Jarls. The war bands are led by Huskarls for rank. And just so you know what everyone's rank is, the war bands under Guardians of Ran are Hran's Watchers, led by Bjorn Stajar, I can't pronounce it. Kolga's Frostguard, led by Kunnagrummer, Yormling the Fierce, and the last war band is Un's Favored, led by Dramvefer Hrodling. I know, Skull, I know. The names are killing me. And so you have the ranks listed there for anyone who's curious what the ranks are. We also go into details about families. That's our lineage. We have Deputy, Commander, Dane, and Kilroy for the families with the various. I'm sorry, those are houses. Excuse me. Those are the houses. Deputy, Commander, Dane, and Kilroy. There are also families under each house. These are like the major branches of each house. So at one point, they were recruited by the patriarch of the house, and they got enough members to form their own line. That would be like Madagothi recruiting a bunch of people and then getting the Manilings because he did a good job there. He can justify a new family. So, one day you guys too can have a family of your own if you do enough recruiting and get enough active recruits. We track our lineage through the house system. So, basically everyone tracks to their parents, all the way up to Dane. Lord Dane the Proud is our clan founder. And so that's pretty cool because you see where you came into the lineage, who recruited you, who you recruited, all your brothers and sisters, like High King Vestborg is technically my brother because we were both recruited by Eowyn Leitling. Rickaleader, also recruited by Eowyn. Eodor, also recruited by Eowyn. So all four of us are technically brothers. And I think that kind of goes back to the family aspect of WA, and that's pretty cool. So just real quick, the basic rank is Scout. So if you're new here, you'll become a Scout once you've been here for a little bit. When you first enter, you're just a guest until someone gives you the Scout rank. And we just need to make sure you're respectful, you have good attitude, you try to follow these rules, you get interested in other Uko trivias and codexes, and then you'll be well on your way to becoming a warrior. After that, the full guide has all the rules and responsibilities for those ranks. You can take a look at that. That's also in the rules Discord channel. It should be under full guide. I think I linked both there in an image. Yeah, handbook. It's under handbook. That's the full one. Feel free to give that a read too. That will tell you much more than the pocket guide. But that's something you can look forward to doing. And when you get new ranks, you can see what you're going to get into, the responsibilities, that kind of thing. Yeah, so read the handbook, guys. I can't stress that enough. And that's basically the pocket guide. Any questions with that, guys? We're going to just open comms here, so just X up or put a question in Meet Hall, or just start talking if no one's talking, and we'll address it. And if you have questions later or just offline, it could be Monday or something, could be tomorrow, and you get a question, just DM me. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I work during the day, so if I don't get back to you, I'll try to get back to you in the evening, Eastern time. No questions about the pocket guide? You don't want to know how you can become High King in a week? Kuzi's 10 secrets to becoming High King?
I thought it was just kill everyone up to High King.
Barbaric.
Political prisoners.
What was that?
Political prisoners.
Yeah. Skull, you have a question about progression of ranks? What specifically, like the timing? Because to rank up, guys, typically you need to be at a prior rank for a certain amount of time. That is listed in the actual handbook, and typically it's about a month. I'm trying to think of an exception, but I think usually you can go from rank to rank each month if you meet all the requirements of the prior rank, your current rank, and it looks like you're doing potential duties of the next rank. That's definitely a good way to look good with the leadership and how to get ranks, is you start taking on additional responsibilities of the next rank you want. Obviously, just be a good person, and that shouldn't be an issue. Don't cause drama. Do all the prior ranks, duties, and you'll be on your way. Let's see. What activities new members should expect, Skull. Yeah, I mean, all the activities are listed. So we'll do the first 2 ranks here. Like scouts, you want to basically follow all the basic rules, like no drama, that kind of thing. You want to remain active. Basically, just know the general WA leadership. You know, Vest is High King, got Solite and Fold as Jarls. I'm a Thane. Know your Huskarl, because you'll be put in a warband. And then just try to pick up all the Berserkers, Raiders, and Warriors that you can. I mean, that's going to be the bulk of the members in the Warriors. So, I mean, you don't need to name them all. But I'm just saying, like, know the general structure and show some promise. That's all we're asking for, you know. Don't be adult, you know. Talk to people. Be nice. Help people with other rules. You know, try to get other people recruited. Now, you can't directly recruit someone if you're a scout. You have to be, I believe, warrior and above. But if you have a buddy, like a real life friend, you can bring him to the clan and say, okay, in a week, we'll get a warrior to recruit them. I think it's 48 hours. I think you can recruit someone after joining. I'm sorry, after they join, they can recruit after 48. And then after 72, someone else can recruit them if you don't plan on recruiting them. Like if someone joins the clan from a link, you can do 72 hours, you can pick them up on your own. If someone says, hey, they're mine, they came from my link, like I'll get to them in 48, then that's great. If you're a scout and can't recruit, find an officer, get it approved by your Huskarl. Someone will do the recruiting for you, and then you will get the credit. So going back to the house and the lineage system, they will be like your son or daughter in the lineage chart, which is cool because you get credit and you recruited them. So just think just because you're a scout, you can't recruit. No, you can get someone to do like the legwork for you, run down the rules, you know, briefly touch on what is WA, but you still brought them to the clan, so you get the credit. But yeah, do all these things and you can get out of scout real quick. I mean, heck, if you're recruiting, you'll get out of you'll get out of warrior real fast too. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. You have to sign up on the forums, try to participate in house events. You know, just be active and enjoy yourself. And you know, like I said, guys, rank is not the end all be all. It's just sort of a determiner of where you fit in. You know, we have a spot for everyone, so you know, it's not really a high-low thing. It's an organization thing, yes, but you know, we're not quite as strict as we used to be. It's not that sort of pressure situation. Does that answer the question, Skull? Okay. Any other questions? I might have missed some in the chat scrolling here.
So to clarify,
Yeah.
say if I know a few people that want to rank up, but I guess they're not too sure what to do. So like, I guess if I'm asking if they have the want to rank up, you're saying there would always be like something available for them, right? If they put in the work, obviously.
Generally speaking, yes. I mean, you can always recruit. There may not be an event going on, so obviously you can't help with, you know, things that are on a fixed, like, time-based, like, you know, events. But I mean, generally helping around, asking people, hey, can I help you with that? Showing interest, maybe talking to an officer about something you read on the forums, using the Uko bot in the, was it the Uko channel? It is Shrine of Uko. Here, I'll take an image of that for people to see.
I also want to point out that nobody's barred from making their own events either.
That's a good point. A lot of what we look for in, I guess we'll say, this next generation of WAs, potential leaders. You know, you don't even have to lead people like me. I'm doing this as a demonstration that I can teach something, that I can pass on information, that I can talk about events, that we can analyze things, as well as help new members, right? It's for everyone. But I'm not, you know, keeping track of members, right? So if if you're less of a people person, doesn't matter. You don't have to be super social. You can just cast. You can be a caster for an event, you know, like AO Invest are doing from time to time. You know, you can have a trivia night. You can have any kind of thing imaginable. You know, just propose it to an officer and be like, yeah, that's good. All right, let's set a time. You promote it, you plug it, you do that. That looks great. You know, because that's adding content, that's adding fun. You're giving people options. You know, it's spontaneous, it's new, creative. Literally can be anything. So, thanks, Con. That's a great point. If you have ideas of things and not sure how to get started, ask somebody. You know, I mean, just showing interest goes a long way to getting the event done, and it also gets more people engaged, and it looks good for you, looks good for your house, all that.
Okay, so like, if we were to like want to like run an event and like I guess we don't have the experience, where would we go to like get some kind of like support or like someone to back you up? I guess if you need help doing that, even if you're not that good.
Any of the officers.
Yeah, any of the officers, or if you see someone has done an event like that, you can talk to them. It really depends on the event. You know, if it's game centric, well, not everyone's going to play that game. You'd have to talk to someone in that game. You know, if you're looking to cast something, which could be any game, talk to a caster, talk to Vest, talk to AO. You know, talk to. I don't even know who else does that. I mean, if you're looking to create a game or modify a map, I don't know. We have artists, we have music channels. I don't know. You'd have to find like modders, but I mean, we can put shout outs. You know, bring it up to an officer. We could just shout out for everyone to say, "Hey, who knows about this?" You know, bring it up in a town hall meeting, in a fireside chat meeting. You know, just say, "Hey guys, we're done talking about everything. I have a question. Who knows this? You know, who knows how to do this?" Yeah, just raise questions, bring it up. Someone might have an idea.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically for League 2, like I can help out with that.
Yeah, because I mentioned event. I was interested in helping run the August league tournament.
Oh, okay. Like organizing or casting or what?
Yeah, organizing, facilitating. Not much of a cast.
Who, I don't know off the top of my head. Who's running that? Is that Fold or is that anyone?
He said he'd message me back once things get solidified a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, then just follow up with him and we'll see what he has. Cool. Well, anyone else? That's basically the end of this first segment here. I think that took us, what, about 40 minutes? Not too bad. I'd like to have a little extra time at the end for questions or just general discussion.
I have a few questions.
Yeah, who is that?
Oshi.
Okay, hey, go ahead. You said you were going to have questions for me, so bring them on.
Yeah. So like about house traditions.
Uh-huh.
I know for me when I joined, I wasn't really aware of all the other house traditions. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like I was fairly jealous of House Commander when I first joined.
Amen.
You can blame Khan for that.
Yeah, just because of like I constantly saw in the archives about the blood names.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought I was like, I didn't really. I guess I was just like I thought it was like one of the most interactive house traditions there. I think it'd be like in my idea, I think it'd be good for like recruits to be able to like choose their house. But I guess that wouldn't really make sense for like house lineage, you know.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough sell because really it depends on who's your recruiter because of the parent-child relationship of the family hierarchy we have. I would just say if you have ideas about wanting to do something similar, bring it up with your house lord, family earl. For you, I believe is Randleafer. For House Dane. I mean, you're welcome to discuss it with him. I'm sure he'd be happy to take input. You know, because I don't know. I'm not in House Dane. I don't know what their traditions are, but you know, each
Yeah.
house is going to be different, and that's what makes WA great. Is that Deputy is different than Commander, which is different than Kilroy, which is different than Dane.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
So,
The House of Dane tradition is pretty cool about the quest for their Nordish name.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's definitely not as interactive like through like other like two other clanmates or. Okay.
Or you could just create a fun game among your friends and just be like, haha, today we're going to fight for this not meaningless, but I mean, it means something to you, but for this random name or, you know, we're going to like pass a trophy around her, you know, like, oh, I won it this week. I mean, you could start stuff. It doesn't even have to be in family dynamics. I mean, it could just be like, you know, playing a game of, what's that movie where like the guys have been playing the same game of tag for like forever? It's kind of like that. Okay, Ormer, I'll see you. Thanks for showing up. What else you got? Any other questions, or you guys still squared away on how to rank up, or
I do have a question.
Titan? Yes.
All right. Well, my question is like I'm interested in playing some games with some members of this clan. So just wondering what kind of games on computer or consoles that I could play with clan members.
Okay, great question. I have two things for you. The first is we have Discord tags for people, so you can do, you know, @, you know, CK2 members.
All right.
So like I just did in Mead Hall, you know, something like that. There's League of Legends, StarCraft, Diablo, Warframe. I mean, we have a bunch of them. I can't just rattle them all off, but you can try to get some of those tags applied to you. So whenever pings go out like this, you're notified. That's one good way of being contacted. Likewise, when you have that, you can contact other people. So that gets you involved with the games. You can also just post things in the Mead Hall, make a forum post. I don't know who would all read that, but you know, that's less day-to-day stuff and more of an archive at this point, the forums we have. Just showing up in channel, just asking people. You know, sometimes people just don't reach out. Like I said, the hardest first point is first part of anything, whether you're recruiting or just trying to get a game going, is just reaching out, talking to someone. You know, like today, I was just mad spam pinging people because I saw you were green online, even though I might not have talked to you for a week. You know, it was just, hey, you know, let's drum up support. Let's go. Sometimes that's all it takes. Now, we obviously don't want to spam people, but, you know, if it's once in a while, I think it's appreciated that you're showing interest and, you know, trying to organize stuff, right? But yeah, just sitting in channel, people see you're on, they'll come to you, or if you see someone pop on, you're here, you can go to them. Does that help?
Yeah, that helped a bit. Um, like, just like pretty soon I'm going to be getting a new computer so I can play more games on it, and like soon I'll now be able to play some of the games that other players here are playing.
Nice. Yeah, and if you want those tags assigned to your name, just ask someone. If you click on people's profile and you see a tag you want, hit up a Thane, a Jarl, High King. We all are mods of some kind. You can put the tags on.
All right, that's good to know.
Okay, cool.
What was
Oh.
the first question that I missed?
His first question.
Your first question, because I was kind of late.
I'm just asking. Are there any other questions? Because we've basically gone through the first segment of material. I mean, we could keep going as a group. Let's see, how long would that take?
Do you know the way? Way is in Warriors of AC.
Oh, I know the way. You know what? Let's do a little bit more. I think this would be good since we're all going here.
Look at me. That's what I meant.
So, I guess I neglected to say what WA is even. As crazy as that sounds, this was more of an intro than anything, but I guess I had it slated for my second module. So if you guys have, I don't know, another 20 minutes, we could probably do this in 20 minutes. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Well, it's up to everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to go, let me know. Otherwise, we can all just hang out and talk about it. Okay, I mean, it looks like I think we have 20 minutes for everyone. So, all right. So, thanks, Jeremy. So officially, WA is the Warriors of Azir. You can ask me how to type the cool Ash character later. The Azir, AE connected. That's an alt code. I'll tell you later. But we are the Warriors of Azir. Like I said, we were founded in June 1st, 2001 by Lord Dane the Proud on StarCraft Brood, which is a PC game. That's an RTS. Like I said, I actually did kind of cover this. We are a Viking Norse-themed game clan with a rich history and various long-standing traditions, and we're devoted to respectful yet fun gaming environments for everyone. We went over the Pocket Guide, which is great. So skim through that, skim through the rule book. That'll be your homework. In there, there's a link to the site. Well, I did basically cover this. Wow, I'm that good. Okay, see. What is your role and purpose of WA in the clan? So what is your role in the clan? What is the purpose of WA? We sort of touched on it. It's a place to network, place to game, place to make friends, place to do life stuff and help people. It's all of these things. It's not any one specific thing, We can be competitive, we can be casual, but we still have a structure, we still have traditions, and all that is fun, I think. I have in my notes here, fun, yes, work, yes, friends, yes. Three yeses.
3 yeses.
Gothy, no.
And so, again, about the ranks, it's not all about the ranks. It really doesn't matter. It matters and it doesn't at the same time. How I view it, it's about best fit. What is your level of activity? What are you doing for the clan? Do you want to do more? Or can you only do so much based on time requirements? Maybe you work. Maybe you have a lot of other responsibilities. That's fine. It doesn't matter. No one should be discouraged or disparaged based on rank. You could be a lowly scout. You could be just a baseline member as a warrior and, doing the bare minimum. And that's quite all right. Like the bulk of members are going to be like warriors. So if you're a raider, you're only one step up, but you're already, slightly above average there. You're berserker. Well, you've done something. You should feel proud of when you go above and beyond and do these things for the clan, right? So it's all about respecting one another, taking care of your responsibilities, and having the resolve to commit to what you're doing, whether it's in-game or whether it's tournament or whether it's hosting teaching lessons like this. You got to be there, you got to show up, you got to do it, you got to reach out, you got to recruit that person. It's all about, you have to take that first step, and you also have to follow through, which is why it's so important. And this goes for all ranks, not just High King showing up to the fireside chat. It's every scout that wants to show up too, right? So we're all in this together. And I talked about advancing in WA. I don't know if I need to clarify this anymore. I've gone through it. Don't troll in games, help others, follow the rules, organize things. You can do non-game related stuff. You can help officers. If you're a free body and someone looks busy, volunteer, or feel excited when they ask you to do something, because then you can chip in and help. Like, learn more about the clan, its histories. It's read the stories, talk about it with someone. Be mature, give respect, lead games, grow as a person. Like, we're all of the above when it comes to what this clan is. It's helping people, whether they're down that day or trying to compete at a high level in a ranked game. It depends on the person too. And just try to be positive, or do events that you think are going to be positive to you or others. And that's really all I have here, guys. I mean, it's basic stuff.
When are we gonna do like history lessons?
Well, that is going to get into level 2, which I have not planned a date yet. I'm still filling out some of the information myself. So next week we may want to do another level 1 for anyone who's missed it. But if there's the interest, then I can start chipping away at level 2, which is going to be a lot less scatterbrained. It's going to be a lot more focused on individual people and events. I have planned for the next module of level 2 a lesson on the history of pre-WA, the beginning of WA. It's going to revolve around Dane, our founder of the clan, so you can see where we came from. It's going to go chronologically from even before WA existed. What was Dane doing? Who are the actors? Because some of those names, some of those actors are going to come into contact with WA. Some people are going to support, some people are going to rebel. It's a lot of stuff of the old StarCraft days. So for those who don't know, I mean, it's a very different world back then. It's a different mindset. Before Discord was even a thing, this was going on. So it really is a blast for the past. And I highly encourage you all to show up and get a taste of what it was like before, voice chat was like the norm. So back when clans were a little bit more serious, not that we're not serious, but back when maybe things were a little less casual, before you could just hop into 50 discords, and people really stuck and stuck around into one discord and really took things seriously. So that's just a little teaser for you guys. I don't know if it's going to be next week or the following week. I'll just have to see based on activity. But this week was great, guys. Thanks for coming up. So if we can, Connie, you could probably kill the recording now, and then I can answer questions later if you guys think